let's address this issue. This is a question I get from therapists very often in this when I'm teaching this course is, what do you think about bracing? What do you think about splinting? What do you think about using slings? So we've talked about it with gait, and I same thing. My thought process is the same. I try not to give any of that additional adaptive equipment or support until I feel like they're not in a safe position or it's really limiting them from functioning. However, we need to protect that shoulder so that we're not going to cause that subacromial impingement and pain and everything else. So when we've got a heavy arm or the arm is in a sublux position, we've got to keep it reduced. Now that might be that they walk with their thumb in their pants or in their pocket or in their gait belt, or we get them into a rolling platform walker where I can get some support and hold the shoulder that way, okay? We did a lot of education with nursing as far as how to transfer them. I showed you how the transfer can come outside the arm instead of underneath the arm so you can support it that way. I tape, and the taping sometimes will help reduce that. Sometimes I do use slings. And if I'm up walking and I'm unable to control that arm, sometimes putting them in a sling will help do that. There was a study put out, it was a very interesting study, and it compared normals and people who had strokes with a hemi shoulder. And what they did is they had them walk over a forced platform, and they analyzed their gait. They looked at step length of time in single leg stance, gait, their base of support. And what they found was that, and gait speed, they looked at gait speed as well. There wasn't a big change from in the normals when they went from trying to increase speed and slowing down. They looked at all these gait speeds and stuff. So they had them walk normally. They had the normals walk normally. They had the patients who had the strokes with the hemi shoulder walk. They could use their assisted devices, and they walk normally over these platforms and in the gait lab. And then what they did was they put a sling on them. And it was just a standard sling. And they didn't really notice, there was some differences between the normals, regular speed, and then with the sling on. But what they noticed with the patients who had the hemi shoulders, when they put the sling on, is their gait speed increased, their length of time in single leg stance on the affected leg increased, their step length increased, which really surprised me. I was very surprised that just a regular sling would do this, but it really affected the gait. Statistically, there was a big difference. So that right there shows me that we've got to support that arm. Obviously, if I can get their arm swinging and things like that, that's great. But if we need to do something, then we've got to protect that shoulder.